Good afternoon, everyone. It's me, Doomlink, and I'd like to welcome you all back to the Twilight Princess livestream series. I was wondering why my character decided to move on his own, and then I found out pretty quickly that we are still in the sky at the... what is it? You can't call it the Sky Island. The Temple in the Sky, that is our current location. We have completed the dungeon. We just now need to essentially go through two half-dungeons of sorts in order to fight the final boss and complete the game. My intention is for this to actually be the last recording of this series. However long it's going to take for me to finish the game from here, I'm going to try and really force myself, push myself to get it done. The estimate that I would give at this stage would be 3.5 hours, it could be 4. Obviously the longer I sit here not actually playing the game, the longer it's going to take for me to get it done, but yeah, we're going to go for a single session process here. Thank you for the resub, Takashi, I appreciate that. Oh, my nickname in middle school was Twilight Princess, and the game hadn't even come out till high school. Why were you called the Twilight Princess in middle school? Whatever. I wouldn't say that they take a while. They're alright. If it takes me a full 2 hours to get this dungeon finished, I would say that going to the Twilight Realm will probably take about an hour, maybe a little bit more than an hour, and then the last dungeon should be about the same. Of course, you do have a bit of travel between both of those two dungeons, but not much. So, look, in the end, I'd say 3.5 hours to get the whole thing done, maybe 4 if I'm being a little bit slow. But I'm glad you're here for it as well, P-Berry. I should give an update for the benefit of those who are watching in the future and perhaps would appreciate a little bit of a timestamp of sorts. Nintendo Direct is coming soon. It is rumored that we will be getting release dates for the original fucking Wii U remasters, but on Switch. That is specifically Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. That's a whole subject that I may get onto as we continue through this live stream, but I'm not going to touch on it just now. Let me tell you that it's utterly dissatisfactory that it has taken this long for us to get these remasters, but anyway, more importantly, there have been pretty strong indications that this is going to be a Nintendo Direct focused on the announcement of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which is apparently what the new game is going to be called. I'm glad that Breath of the Wild 2 was only a working title. I'm really quite glad that that was a working title, because it would have been very awkward if they just called it Breath of the Wild 2. In fact, I was entirely incredulous to that theory when it was first put forward to me. I said, look, I can't imagine why they would make a Breath of the Wild 2 unless it were literally a continuation of the story, and it may be a continuation of the story, but I don't think it's going to be anything like Breath of the Wild, from what I can tell, which will, at least for me, be a very good thing. And quite hilariously, Nintendo Direct, as I was informed by one of my viewers in the UK, has actually been, at least for the moment, postponed in the UK because of the name of the game, Tears of the Kingdom. Indeed, Queen Elizabeth II has recently died, and apparently there's some fear that that's going to offend people. The fact that a video game is going to be announced called Tears of the Kingdom, while people are apparently upset that Queen Elizabeth is dead. I mean, that is, with the greatest respect, one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. You know, you've got a lot of stupidity that exists in the world at the moment that is unique to the 21st century, but then you've got stuff that just doesn't belong in the 21st century that is just as ridiculous. So we're getting a nice taste of both. We're getting a nice taste of this anachronistic fanaticism with the royal family to the extent where we can't even have a video game called Tears of the Kingdom announced, otherwise people might get upset. I mean, even if you were to draw a link, I mean, are you going to sit there and say, this is insensitive? It's like, get a grip, please. Anyway, yes, thank God it wasn't called Breath of the Wild 2. Tears of the UK, yeah. Anyway, the point is that it's stupid, Even if you did draw a link between that name and what was currently going on in the UK, you'd be pretty hard-pressed to find oneself offended by it, but maybe it's possible. What I would say in regards to that is that you should be offended if it could offend you. I think it would be good for you to experience some frustration, and quite frankly, you should tell us all about it, because it would be very entertaining to hear your point of view, and just how crackerjack your sensibilities are. My beverage today is Lef Bock beer. Not Lef, La Trappe. Why did I think it was Lef? That's my problem. I actually pulled out a Lef glass for this. The cork is partially removed, but that's because I was pulling it out and then I realized, this is La Trappe, you dickhead. Why did I think it was Lef? I mean, they both start with L, but I pulled out my Lef glass for this. Well, I better go change glasses and, you know, fix this up, because I'm not drinking this out of a Lef glass. That's ridiculous. I will be back in about 30 seconds, and yeah, bear with me. This is not acceptable. I'm back. Now let's try that again. Our beverage today is La Trappe Bock beer, consumed out of a La Trappe glass. Second time I've had this beer before, incidentally. The second time I've had it on camera. Very good. One can only fear the worst possible scenario, which is the beer exploding out the neck of the bottle. We don't want that. We really don't want that. It is a lovely beer. I love it, because it is lovely. That's how that works. And this is going to be my companion for much of this recording. It needs to be there, because I've played a bit too much of this game recently, and that's part of the reason why I'm trying to finish it in one go here. But yeah. We don't have too much to get done, that's why I'm pushing to get it done in a single sitting. Cheers, everyone. Oh, goodness me. What a beverage. Oh, tears of the Doom Link. Tears of joy. Okay. As a recap, we just finished the Temple in the Sky in the previous recording. Oh, actually, come to think of it, I might actually put myself a little bit more in the corner there so you can see the rupee counter. So we finished the Temple in the Sky, we acquired the double claw shots, we killed, this is actually not in chronological order at all, we acquired the double claw shots and we killed Argarok, I think his name is. Oh, we need to go the other way. And to actually leave this place, we have to claw shot our way into the cannon and fire ourselves out of it. Pointing down, apparently. So not only through the force of gravity are we descending to the Earth, we are being fucking shot down into the Earth. Which sounds like a pretty intense experience, but if anyone can handle it, I'm sure Link can. It was dangerously close to the walkway there, and I can't imagine it would have been a good end to Link if we had landed on that. They probably would have had a large Link-sized hole in the walkway if that were to happen as well. Goodness gracious. I do like keeping the claw shots on while I walk around. Feels like Link's got these crazy hands. To be honest, these could probably be his new hands. They're slightly less functional in that there are only 3 digits, I suppose, in this case. But they extend out, so why not? Must be very awkward to take them off, Suppose he has to put one under his armpit or something and pull it out, I don't know. Yes, thank you. Thank you for blessing me. I didn't notice the birds over there until now. Not sure what business they have flying around like that, but... suppose they have a right to do it. Rhinopolis armor hands, that's true enough. They are in that style. Now, I think we only have one more heart piece left until we get another heart container. I'm not actually going to work towards getting all heart containers in this game. You can see that I have acquired a decent number of heart pieces here in this run, so that satisfies me aptly. What I will do, actually... oh god, look at these markers, they're still painted all over the map. This is terrible. It really is giving me European version Minish Cap vibes, in the sense that, well, I'm not going to go over that again, but basically in the Minish Cap there's a problem in the European version that almost makes it unplayable. And yeah, it involves things not being removed from the map that should be removed from the map, much like this here. There is one heart piece that I know of that requires the double claw shots here in this location. So I'm going to go and get that last heart piece now and put the whole heart piece collecting process to bed. I think this will do me. I will dispatch you because I don't trust you. I don't want you to interrupt my activities. So there are actually 2 heart pieces that we can acquire here in this location. I think we've already picked up one of them, but anyway. Oh, maybe we need to go... oh, here we go, down here. Excellent. That was a bit too sharp of an angle. And I think we are expected to now climb the vines across here. And once we pick up our heart piece, I will make my way to the Arbiter's grounds. Fuck off. Come on. Because, of course, what's at the Arbiter's grounds is the Mirror of Twilight, of which we have all these shards at this stage. And that's another heart container. We are not going to be getting 5 more heart pieces between now and the end of the game, so this is it. These are the hearts that we're going to use to fight the final boss, and all that. I'm reasonably happy with my bottled health recovery items. I suppose I could replace a red potion with, or this red potion rather, with a fairy, but I don't know. We'll see how things play out. For the moment, I am content. Now, I should further clarify what I was talking about when I was saying that it was a totally unsatisfactory situation with the release of the remasters of both Twilight Princess and Wind Waker on the Switch. It's definitely topical because I'm currently playing one of the games in its original form that is being remastered. It's story time, ladies and gentlemen, and I think this will be helpful to all of you. It's going to allow you to formulate your own opinions as to whether or not this is acceptable, and it's going to inform those of you who are a little bit newer to the Zelda series, although I'm not too sure many of you who would be newcomers to the series would be watching this. But anyway, the situation is that Nintendo is coming out with some remasters of these games. The problem is that the Switch came out in 2017, and it's 2022. Another problem is that these games have already been remastered. There's a very interesting situation here where Nintendo had 2 choices. Either they replaced the games that were essentially left in the dust, namely the Wii U games, the Wii U remasters, either they replaced them immediately when the Switch came out, keeping in mind that the HD version of this game, the remastered version of this game, came out only 1 year before the Switch came out. 1 year! And we've had to wait 5 years for replacements. Now, either Nintendo brings those remasters out immediately, which I think they should have done, put them out on the Switch for people to play, or they wait until the actual next console. Because they've failed to do both of those things, we're effectively going to get almost no graphical improvement from the Wii U release and the Switch release. Particularly for Wind Waker, because the art style there is not going to lend itself to the increased graphical, I don't know, quality of the Switch release versus the Wii U release. But to be honest, I don't think even Twilight Princess is going to be that noticeable. Oh, why am I going here? I'm jumping the gun. We're not going to Hyrule Castle just yet. We need to go to the Arbiter's Grounds. If you're wondering why I was here, that's why. I was essentially getting ahead of myself. So yeah, that is the situation. Nintendo have made the worst possible decision. This is indeed assuming that we are going to get release dates for these games at the upcoming Nintendo Direct. And what's most insulting is that when they released those two games, particularly Twilight Princess, in its remastered form, the Miiverse was shut down, which essentially stripped the games of their online functionality. So we had these games that we had purchased on a system that was dying/dead, and that had lost their online functionality. So naturally, when the Switch came out, we thought, oh god, I'd like to play this on the Switch. I've got them on the Wii U, and they play fine as offline games, but that online functionality was really nice. And they got rid of it because of the Miiverse. They were so myopic that they couldn't actually see that the Miiverse was essentially kids having unrestricted access to all the people on the internet, some of whom were drawing juvenile pictures of penises on their messages, and that's not family friendly, so we've got to close the Miiverse. And a lot of problems arose as a result of the Miiverse being closed. It wasn't just for Zelda. I'm sure a lot of games were negatively affected by that decision. But Nintendo's lack of willingness to immediately give the community Switch versions of those games was quite frankly an insult. Because again, it was literally that year when they closed the Miiverse that the Switch came out. In fact, if I remember correctly, it was a little after the Switch came out when they closed the Miiverse. So, yeah, again, their decision to now release it on the Switch, which is what the console was back then, has achieved nothing except to insult the people who, A, had the online functionality of those old games taken away from them and didn't get replacements, and also the people who have been waiting for so long to play the games because they didn't have Wii U's. Now they can finally play it on the Switch? Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's not good enough. The whole situation is not good enough. It is indicative of Nintendo's complete lack of thoughtfulness, and also indicative of a total lack of interest and ignorance of what people want in the Zelda community. Nintendo doesn't give a shit, and they never will give a shit. That is the fact of the matter. Zelda Chronicles, what do you mean? A-Gaming, your joke is lost on me, but thank you. So you knew? Yeah, so we just realized, to get back to the game, we were just informed that Midna is the Twilight Princess. And I'm not going to read any of the text because I don't want to slow things down by reading everything. I've already done 2 other playthroughs of this game, so I don't think you need me to sit here and read all the text, surely. And I'm also not going to sit here and rant about how they fucked Zant up completely in how they decided to depict him when it came time to actually fight him. But let me make that clear, I'll put it on the record for now, that, or for this particular playthrough, this recording series, that Zant went from being a genuinely intimidating antagonist to being a complete joke, and they didn't have to do that. They really didn't have to do that. I know Hey gaming. When I acknowledged that you were joking, I simultaneously acknowledged that you were pulling my leg, but thank you. My point was that I didn't understand the joke. We're not going to have this discussion either, Ethan. I don't know who Majora is in the lore because I'm not as either informed or intrigued about the lore as you are. So, yeah, I don't really have... I mean, obviously back when the split timeline theory was first put out there on the internet, which, to my surprise, several years later became the accepted norm, and in fact canon, I suppose I was aware of the lore at that point. Well, not just the lore, but the theory behind the whole story systems. But I just totally disconnected from that. And that's partially due to how I disconnected from the community. Well, I think Xant's fight was alright, but again, I don't like how he went from that really intimidating character to, again, a complete weirdo doing goofy things and making silly noises. It was a complete shift. And maybe it's not as bad as I'm making it out to be. Maybe there's a very good reason for that. But I haven't found it. I haven't been able to work it out. Well, I will be cheesing Ganondorf with a fishing rod. You'd better believe it. I will be doing that. He's actually a genuinely difficult fight. But I couldn't be bothered doing it legitimately, so I'll fishing rod the fuck out of him. The reason why is because I will, and I did fight him legitimately in the HD version, because I'm pretty sure you can't use the fishing rod there. And if I do play the Switch version, which will likely be the next time I play this game in many years to come, I will also be fighting him legitimately there, so I may as well make use of the fishing rod while I can. This is the point. Sort of like using the empty bottle during the Ocarina of Time confrontations. Can I ask you one last selfish favour? Regardless of what my reasons may have been, I once abandoned this world. I left behind the Twilight, those who had followed me, who considered me their ruler. Even now they remain here, suffering. Let me rephrase that, or read it correctly rather. Even now as they remain here, suffering, they believe that help will come for this world. But if they were to see that the only help for them was a hideous little imp, don't you think they'd feel let down? I don't know, they all look pretty hideous as well, so I'm sure they'll be quite comfortable with that. Anyway. The Ganondorf fights were always very good. The Ganon fight in Ocarina of Time was a big deal. Yes, I know he's not an enemy, it's alright. He seems quite docile. He's also green instead of red. As I draw my sword. Which I didn't intend to do, but anyway. This is a dungeon of sorts. It's a mini dungeon, I would say. You can see that it has something of a map that would... It's got different floors to it. It's obviously treated as a dungeon. It fits within the... I suppose... format of a dungeon, but it's... I don't really consider it to be a proper one. Anyway. You lost interest in Zelda when they became 3D. That's definitely something I can respect. I can respect that when it becomes 3D it sort of loses the feeling of Zelda. I think certain series did better than others when it came to going from 2D to 3D. Of course, the impression that people had in game design and game development in the 90s was that 3D was actually going to replace 2D. They didn't have the foresight to realize that 2D was perfectly fine, and that 2D would endure. They actually thought that 3D was the inevitable point of progression for video gaming, and so most series that began in 2D did just become 3D, as a matter of course. Some series ended up better off than others in that period of time. I would say that Zelda was one of the good ones. An example of a bad one would be Castlevania. I don't think Castlevania ever became worthwhile in 3D. I do continue to play the 3D games, but I don't respect them in the same sort of way that I would respect... Come on. I think we're supposed to hit back the ranged attacks. I mean, come on, why are we fighting Zant heads? This is the beginning... Am I not supposed to hit it back? Maybe not. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to hit it back. Yeah, I'm not supposed to hit it back by the looks of it. I can't remember how I fought you guys in the past. It seems that I am just supposed to get in there quickly enough to hit him. Let's keep trying that, shall we? Just avoid the attack, or don't even have to avoid the attack, just hit him before he can get it out. You can understand, though, why I thought that I had to actually hit that orb back. Looks a lot like the Phantom Ganon orbs that he shoots out in Wind Waker, for example. But, no, that's not what's expected of us. Just need to physically... Oh, come on! I had an A prompt and everything, and you still smashed your head into the bloody chest. You've got a small key. Let's just make sure that we can't progress in this direction first, which we might be able to. Yeah, that looks like the key to the door after all. My tone of voice was wrong. I meant to say after all instead of after all. So similar yet so different. Yeah, Sonic was completely... Sonic is a great example of a series that just doesn't deserve to exist in 3D. The entire purpose of it exists in a 2D space. It just doesn't work if you make it 3D at all. So many series just did not work out properly. It's because everything that made them what they were was in 2D. Whereas in the case of Zelda, for me, Zelda was characterized by literally the format itself, the idea, like an adventure game format, you see. Whereas, maybe not. I would say that the system was not so rigidly chained to how many dimensions it had, you see. Whereas Sonic, being a side-scrolling game, was entirely restricted to those dimensions. I don't think Mario ever ended up truly worthwhile in 3D. I wasn't a huge fan of Super Mario 64. I think the 2D games were better, but at the end of the day, I think Mario probably did a better job than a lot of the games that have been mentioned as examples here. I need to remember how to get through this stuff here. I think I should just continue being a wolf. Essentially, if I walk into that, that's Twilight dust, right? So I'm going to become a wolf if I touch it. And I think that's just what's expected. I need to be a wolf while I'm here. Which is fine. Alright. There is a chest appearing. And apparently we received 2 chests from killing that Zant head. It's a little unusual, you very rarely see that. It's probably the only time in this game, and one of the only times in the series where 2 chests actually appear. After having completed one action. Or having achieved one thing. Can you go away? How I've lost this much health I've got no idea, but I have, and it's a little embarrassing. There's the compass. We already had the map, effectively, so... Now that we've got the compass, we can see where all the chests are. Oh, come on. Is there another chest up there or something? You can see that there's a chest icon, but we've just opened that chest, so it should disappear, right? Whatever. Maybe there is one up there. Let's give it a try. Can we reach that from here? I don't think so. I think I have an idea of what's expected of us. Yes, I understand. I know all about it. Apparently, Metroid Dread got blasted for being a 2D game. That's extremely embarrassing. It would be one thing if it were blasted for being a bad 2D game, but if it were in the style of original Metroid and happened to be 2D, that would be really bad. And really embarrassing that the community would have stooped to that level. That very low level. Of not even knowing what it means for a Metroid game to be two-dimensional. I'm not sure. Maybe some phenomenally ignorant people felt that way about it, but yeah. On the face of it, it sounds ridiculous. But Takashi informs me that it was apparently a pretty good game, as far as he had heard, at least. I got an orange rupee, although I have no need for money at this stage. Wouldn't mind that to be the case in real life. Is there a way up there, actually? I feel like that needs to be activated in some way. See this floating pathway. Alright, let's work that out. Maybe it was actually something that I could have activated while I was up there before. In which case I'm probably being a fool. Let's double check that. Oh no, I think I can see what needs to be done. Or perhaps, no, maybe I can't get up there from here. See what I mean? I don't think there's anything for me to claw shot to here, so I can't get up there. Maybe I'm expected to... No, I'm not expected to go backwards from here, so... I'm definitely missing something. Strange. Yeah, have another glass of wine, come on, man. It's just a glass of wine. Oh wow, I'm actually being extraordinarily retarded. I was apparently so disoriented that I thought that was where I wanted to continue, but it's not. I actually want to continue in this direction. That's the game's way of saying, no, you're not supposed to go back. We're not going to let you go back. We're instead going to force you to continue forward. Wow. I apologize for being so clueless as to where the hell I am and what I'm doing. Let's try to improve a little bit. We're not going to get through this in one sitting if I'm going to behave like that. Alright, so that is what we want for the first half of this mini-dungeon. We're actually looking to pick this thing up. But I think before we get the opportunity to get it, or acquire it, we're going to have to fight some more Zant heads. As I recall. Oh no, it's a Phantom Zant. I can't remember exactly how to fight him, but it shouldn't be too difficult. Says Zant. So essentially, we don't want to become too distracted by these guys. We do have the Phantom Zant hanging around that we do want to hit. Like so. I may actually use my red potion during this fight. Where are you, fucker? There you are. Just have to be really pursuant. We've got a lot of enemies coming after us here. I'll try to kill some of them now. I won't kill all of them necessarily. If I try to kill all of them, then it will likely make it harder for me to hit Zant. You can see that you get a pretty small window of opportunity to hit him here. I was not expecting him to already, but well, that was very fast. That was because I was being very aggressive there. So the orb of light that is within the clutches of this clawed hand, maybe not clawed, but just this hand, is indeed going to produce light. And I suppose cause this dark twilight, whatever it is, to disperse, as we'll be able to demonstrate. Like so. Now this hand wants the orb again. So it's going to start floating towards it. Think of it as a form of Wallmaster. It's worth mentioning that these light orbs can actually be... I think it's raining outside. They can actually... If it's raining outside, then that's pretty significant, and I'll tell you why. In just a moment, but the fact that you can interact with these light orbs with the claw shot means that you can actually, well, really fuck up, because I completely fucked up in that moment. I was standing on the last step, which I didn't realize was going to end up back on the ground, but it did. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you take it, and then I'm going to take it from you. Come on. Come the fuck on! Thank you. I was going to get really upset. This is really dangerous because he's going to take it really quickly because it's close to him. I don't know why I'm attaching a gender to it, but whatever. If it's raining outside, then that's really interesting because I have distinct memories of my Let's Play from 2015/2016 of this game, which, come to think of it, would mean that this is the 4th time I play this game on this channel. Yeah, I was doing a Let's Play of this, and I remember when I was going through this location during that Let's Play in 2016, I was enjoying the sound of very heavy rain outside. So that's nice. Oh, God. I'm a master at avoiding these weird creatures. I don't think they're going to chase me very well up here, so I think we'll play it that way, won't we? Oh yes, we will. Very good. Where do we want to take it exactly? Don't do that. Can I see if it... For fuck's sake! I did not mean to jump down there. Just when I was thinking I was doing quite well, I completely... I didn't just drop the ball, I let it roll down a fucking ditch, and I'm pleased to say that it was literally a ball. So, honestly, please pick it up and bring it over here so I can try again. That was pathetic. There we go. Very good. Now this is not ideal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and bring the hand a little further over here before I actually drop it in the hole, otherwise he's going to grab it immediately. I should just say it. What are you doing? You are lowering down to pick up nothing. Alright. Oh, I think I understand. It's because you can stop that right now. Alright, that hand, again, is really close to the orb, so I need to be quick with this. Might already be lowering down to pick it up here. Come on, target it. Shit! There we go. Alright, so don't drop it like that. Throw it up like that. But don't let it roll off. Go in that corner there, shit. The point is that I can't properly climb with it. Alright, let's continue on. Our goal is to get it out of here and bring it back to that first area. No. I didn't realize it was going to be that easy for this last room. There you go. That's probably maybe a third of the dungeon taken care of already. If you're going through it for the first time, it might take a little while. Oh yeah, if we walk close to these guys, I suppose what we can call the Twilight affliction will be removed. So let's do that a little more, shall we? He does happen to also still be a midget. That hasn't changed. Alright. Now we can drop one of these here. Oh, I'd better go and rescue you. Hold on. Yes, I know. It's called a soul, is it? Well, let me pick that up. Pick it up. Pick it up. I can't pick it up once it's been placed, so that means you're going to have to stay looking like that, my friend. Sorry about that. That's why I wanted to pick it up again. Oh well. Well, I think I can make the game just a little louder. Hold on. Yeah, that'll be fine. As long as it's not drowning me out, it's alright, but I do feel like making the game a bit louder, now that you've mentioned the sounds of the game. Onward. Come on. See, I don't like how they're just slightly out of my range. That bothers me. Fucking bastards. No, go back. Target, shoot. Done. You have been officially taken care of. Now I can't see shit. Ugh. That was a pure fluke. That's what that was. I don't know if the Master Sword can actually interact with this thing, like these light orbs. I can't remember how to actually do anything with them. I do seem to remember... No, I don't think I was doing spin attacks to hit those. I think I just have to stand near them with the soul and they activate or something. I'm supposed to pick up a key. I don't think it's going to be in that little chest, although it could be. I remember expecting it not to be in the past and then it ended up being in it. Could be wrong, let's find out. And that's not the key, but I'll find it, don't worry. There are 3 chests in this room. I have a distinct feeling that the chests that are open do not disappear. Oh no, that one seems to still... It would appear that there are still 3 in this area. I'll just have to find them. One of them is apparently... Oh, one of them will appear there, so... What I would assume is that once I kill this Zant bastard... I should be able to... Oh, for goodness sake. For goodness sake! I should have really anticipated that. And to be honest, I was, but... That was really annoying. I wonder if I can shoot that head with arrows. If it can be done, then that should make things easier. Let's give it a try, shall we? Nope. Entirely resistant to arrows. Oh, hello. That's very good of you to... Oh. Actually put yourself within my sword's range. I wasn't expecting him to be so helpful, so charitable. Oh, for the fucking love of God. The only reason why that happened was because I found myself a little disoriented in that moment. Oh, for goodness sake. That's alright. It's a little dark in here, isn't it? It's not too dark, though. I don't really want to raise the brightness of the game any further. I'd say it is entirely visible, so we should be alright. Patience does help, Doomlink, but you don't require it all the time. There we go. Just in case the game is just a little too loud for my liking, I'll drop it back slightly. Still louder than it was, but... The question of why the fuck did you just do that, Doomlink, is entirely... Don't pick up the pot, you dick! The question of why I just did that is perfectly appropriate, but I don't know. I don't have as much control over my character's movement as you might think. The GameCube controller isn't amazing. But to be honest, it's not so bad that that excuses what I just did, so maybe I should humbly accept my extraordinary inability to play the game. Yes, I will save that Twilight creature when I bring the orb back. The second one, that is to say. Should be able to head down. I will kill you. Oh, never mind, there's two of you, so I don't want you to start reviving the other one. Here we go. I think that's both of them. No, never mind. There is indeed another one, which means that we will need to transform into our wolf form. I will deal with you first. Hold on. No, not both of you. Stop. I want to cancel that. I'm just going to get revived again. Alright, what that means is that the one over here is probably the one that is separate to the others. Yeah, well, I can't see what's going on, okay? There we go. That should take care of it. There is also a Zant head. I'm actually going to remain in Wolflink form because it will be faster to get to the Zant heads in wolf form. There we are. You are now dead. You gave me 1 rupee for my troubles. Thank you for that. Oh, there's another one. Damn it. Oh, back to wolf form. I like how this ends up being purple in colour when I'm using my sense. Just my sense allows me to see a little better. But it's not perfect. What it does actually reduce is my peripheral vision, which is difficult when you're fighting multiple enemies. There are benefits to using the A button to attack with the wolf. You can see I'm really starting to feel some pain here. I don't know if this is going to speed things up. In fact, it looks like they are resistant to that, if you noticed. I'm taking some terrible damage right now. You know what I might do? And I don't know if I can even make use of it. No, I probably can't drink a red potion if I'm in wolf form, so what I'll do is I'll try to take care of... Did another one just appear? Were there really this many before? Okay, one of them's dead. Thank God. Or rather, another one's dead. That should be all of them. Fucking hell. That took a very long time. Alright. Let us return to human form and consume one of my red potions. It is not going to fully heal me, but I want to use my red potion anyway. Good enough. There's a heart over there too. There we are. Now, can I progress from this side? It seems that I can. We are given many targets to clawshot to, so that we may traverse this location from up here. Let's start with clawshotting to this. Where is that chest that unlocked? I don't know precisely where it is, but whatever. Here we go. I don't particularly want money. There are pots in front of these doors, but it's never hearts, if you've noticed. I can never get health from them. Alright, let's find this chest. It's probably that one over there. There are a few chests around here. There's also one over there. We've also got some keys to worry about. I'll start with the one over here. And if I'm wrong, then too bad. I'm sure there would have been some indication as to which one it was. Previously, it was that one. I don't know, it just felt like it would have been. I'm assuming that's a heart piece over there. Even though it's not going to help me at all to acquire it, I will go and pick it up. I'm assuming that's a piece of heart. The dungeon map, yeah, okay. Guess what? I don't care. Leave me out of it. Okay, I technically touched it, so you turned me into a wolf. Congratulations. I think I've got a Keese coming after me, so I'm gonna make this quick. Let's get out of here. Ow! Sorry, I'm just gonna give myself a concussion first, and then we'll get out of here. Here we go. The soul must be in this room. Yes, it is. It is marked on our map with a red circle. Or a red dot, whatever you want to say it. I don't know if this confrontation is more difficult than the previous one. I really don't remember. I like how they needed that long to figure it out. What's that strange sound behind me? I'm just going to ignore it for 3 seconds. Oh my god, it's Phantom Zand, even though I've literally fought him in this exact room before. I'm Link. Not only am I mute, I'm also hard of hearing. Yes, I'm gonna kill you. Oh. I'll give it a rest. Now you can see that the enemies have disappeared because he's moved into his next phase of the fight. As long as you're really aggressive, it's fine. If you're going to be really slow, I can imagine it being difficult. Oh, you are going for it. Okay. Didn't think you would go for the attack, though. I'd say one more round of strikes might do it. You just have to be ready to actually go for him every time he appears. Oh, never mind. Didn't get a proper... I wonder if... You know, if I had approached him faster than that, would he have let me hit him repeatedly? Probably. There are probably sound cues to go by as well, but I can't really hear it properly. I can hear the game, but it's not enough for me to use sound cues to clearly pinpoint his location. Well, no, that's, No, you're thinking of the... Was that even E3? Maybe it was E3. You're thinking of the Takashi mentions, I'll never forget the E3 trailer announcement for this game that ended up being nothing like what this game ended up becoming. That was the 2001 announcement trailer, which, yeah, it was totally different to this. It sort of felt more like Ocarina of Time, honestly. Had more of an Ocarina of Time look. That was really the genesis of people's grievances with Wind Waker. It was the fact that a Zelda game came out after that reveal trailer. Can't remember what it was. It had a name to it. Don't know if it was E3 or not. Yeah, either way, it obviously came out before, like, that announcement was about 1.5 years before Wind Waker came out. And then Wind Waker came and people said, well, this is not what you showed. Well, I would imagine that a second reveal trailer came out for a different game to that, and people were like, this is gross. And then, yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare for Nintendo at the time, but... Space War 2001. So what are you referring to? I don't remember there being an E3 trailer for Twilight Princess that was different to this. Are you saying that they released 2 trailers that were unrepresentative of games that would later release? I remember an E3 trailer of Twilight Princess that literally caused everyone to wet themselves, including me, and basically, like, it was insane. It was so good. The E3 trailer of this game was pretty accurate and it was amazing. So I'm assuming we're both referring to the Space World 2001 trailer. Anyway. I don't know, Takashi. You're probably right. Maybe it is. Maybe they didn't actually show a scene from this game in that trailer, but I don't know. It was good enough for me. And looking back on it, it's fine. I felt like it was more about showcasing the graphics of the game than what was going on in the game. Holy shit, this is hard. No, he's not talking about that, Ethan. He's actually not. That's what I assumed. This was... Okay, Ethan. Fuck me, man. You have to keep up with the conversation. So basically, he mentioned an E3 trailer for this game that was unrepresentative of the game that actually came out. I assumed that he was referring to the Space World 2001 demo. He says, no, he's not referring to that. He's referring to the actual E3 trailer of... I know you're playing Rocket League. What else would you be doing? But and then Takashi was instead referring to the actual E3 trailer, which apparently was not precisely what this game was going to be. But as far as I'm concerned, it was definitely close enough. I think the point was to get people excited for what this game was. Certainly anyone who saw that demo was not going to then play this game and be like, oh, well, this isn't what I saw. I'm upset. This is not the game. It was the spirit of Twilight Princess, just designed to be really exciting for everyone who saw it, you know. But that was the situation. I think it was fine. I mean, you're probably right. I don't even, to be honest, it's been so long since I last saw that trailer that I don't remember what was in it, but I just remember it looking like Twilight Princess. So, yeah, you're probably right. Anyway. It is raining quite a lot outside. I have to tell you, it's really funny that it's... I mean, it hasn't been raining recently, and yet, when I go through this place, it starts raining. Which again, as I say, is a very memorable thing for me. It was just absolutely pouring outside when I was going through this in 2016 in that particular Let's Play that I was doing. How the fuck do I get up there? Do I have to... Oh my god, what am I doing? Go away. I need to work out what's expected of me here. Oh yes, I know what needs to be done. Need to do that. No, not that, but... Yeah, okay, you come over here. That's fine. And then once he begins his animation to grab it, I'll throw it. Alright. Go in there. Go in there. What the fuck is going on? Why do you not... It's supposed to be attracted to that hole, but obviously I threw it too far. Oh, this is frustrating. I have to actually get my timing right, because otherwise... Maybe I'll stand here. This is probably better. Go in there. Shit. So what I'll do is I'll stand a little further away to get your animation to start. That should go in right. Very good. So from here... Oh god, where am I going from? Over here. No, grab onto it quickly before that prick gets it. He has acquired it. I just need to take it off him, if I can. Please, please, please. Come on, get it, get it. Yes! Oh, God. That would have been so annoying if I had failed that. Alright. That should conclude that little journey. Now we've got one room to go. Anyway. There are few game trailers more electrifying than the E3 2004 Twilight Princess trailer. That was fucking exciting. That was really exciting. Can... I'm assuming you mean Smash Brothers Melee. Well, fair enough. I'm glad you feel that strongly about it. I'm not a Smash Brothers guy, but if seeing that again made you weep, then very well. I'm definitely not a Smash Brothers guy. Alright, so if we stand here for long enough, this will activate another one of these, and then we can go across like so. Obviously, that's not too difficult what we just did. The point is that if you fuck that up, there is a serious problem. There is a serious problem. It involves you needing to try and get that orb back and get up the... Oh, it's a nightmare. You don't want to mess that up, that's the point. Alright, let's take this over. We only need 2 orbs. We're now 2/3 of the way through this dungeon. Now that we have acquired this orb, we will be able to head towards the dungeon key, I think. Oh god, unless... Here we go. This happens every single time. This is one of those dungeons, again, I'll refer to this as a dungeon, where every fucking time I end up missing the boss key. I don't know if it's in this next section that we have yet to go through, or if it's actually in the place that we just ventured into. You really are the chosen one, Link. Yes, I am. That's me. Alright. We do have chests over there. See, there are 4 of them. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to... No, it's not. There isn't going to be a boss key in there. I think it's an actual proper boss key. I remember where the chest is, yes. I know where it is. Since I've remembered, I know that it's not over there. So essentially, the situation as it stands is that our sword is now imbued with light. So we don't need the soul orbs. We can instead just swing our sword around and that will effectively achieve what those orbs were achieving before. Doesn't matter how strong your sword is, Link, if you're gonna do things like that, you may as well pack it in and go home. Seriously. You may as well just give up on saving Hyrule, because that sort of thing is embarrassing. Just give up, man. Just give up. Take 2. A much needed take 2 at that. I managed to get... Oh, did I get all 3? No way. That could not have been a better way for me to just rectify that embarrassment. Wow. Okay, now if that arrow hadn't hit, that would have been even better. Right, so I think we want to stand about here, and then that'll obviously cause the darkness to disperse. And then we can continue. Goodbye. Do the words rectify and rectum share a root? Let me think about this for a little while. How about rector? Rector as well. Well, we know rectors might have a slight... what's the word? Well, there are a lot of words, but we'll use predilection for anuses. Rectum. Rectify. Probably has a Latin root. Rect. No, I can't really think of a common thread there. I'm sure it would have a root. I wouldn't doubt. I'm sure rect in this case means something. But I don't know. Sorry, I don't engage in the study of languages quite to that extent. Oh! Oh, I see. Rect refers to the straightness of something. Okay, fair enough. That does make sense. The straight part of the intestine, yes. Okay. So the idea is to rectify is to return it to its standard form, which I guess... Yeah, I mean, without expanding on that further, you can understand how. It's the idea of going straight as opposed to... It makes sense, right? It's quite clear. What's going on? Oh, I picked these up, I see. Okay. But here's the question. What am I doing with these? Do I have to place them here? I think I do. Yes. Rectum intestinum is the Latin form. Very good. Oh god, I'm being assaulted. Pick up some rupees again. Alright, we don't have any wall masters trying to steal these orbs, so that's one good thing. Let's continue on. No, I see. Also means right. I think the similarity between the origins of right and straight are what has influenced the implications of the word straight and the use of the word straight outside of the straightness of something. You know, to have it be in its neutral form or have it be right. Or correct, you know. Hold on, have I done this right? Yeah. Have I done this straight? Anyway. Let's jump on in. Before I do that... I said before I do that... Oh my god, why? Why are you all here? I think they all die immediately thanks to my sword, yeah. Well, thank God for that. Could you imagine if I had to fight them as I was before? That would not be an enjoyable experience. Oh, come on. I'm glad that we didn't end up, you know, expanding on the rectal proclivities of rectors, but, you know, I found that to also be mildly funny. Alright. Let's return to the game after that comment. There is a point where we do need to go and get the boss key before we continue through the dungeon. The dungeon has a fairly linear style of direction and progression, but we don't want to be following that linear pathway. We want to actually diverge from that a little bit to go and get the boss key so that we don't have to backtrack. Even while expecting to need to backtrack, I have found myself needing to backtrack to get that key. To be honest, no, it's okay. I was going to say, it's too dark. No, I'm not going to make any changes. It's going to look like this and I'm sticking to it. The good thing is that all these enemies are dying instantly thanks to my sword, which I do appreciate. There you go. I don't like how many of you there are. Well, I'm so sorry that you played this on Wii, Takashi. I'm really sorry. Every person who experienced this game on the Wii missed out. They completely missed out. They could have played a good video game, but they instead engaged in a gimmick. And I do feel very strongly about that. I was extremely fortunate to play this on the GameCube. Extremely fortunate. I'm sure you did. I mean, if you don't know any better, yeah, you're going to enjoy it. The point is, you could have had a better experience, but you didn't. And I hate Nintendo for robbing people of that. I mean, obviously looking back, the Wii was a huge success. It was a cultural phenomenon, but still, I would have preferred Zelda to not become embroiled in that. But obviously Skyward Sword was where things got a little bit too extreme in that regard. Come on. There we go. Well, Skyward Sword was playing into that gimmick to an extent where there was almost no salvageable decency in the game design. Like, it was just overall an embarrassing attempt to promote Wii Motion Plus. That's all it was. It ended up being the game's legacy. It was just a Wii Motion Plus advertisement. And quite frankly, Wii Motion Plus wasn't that good. It just wasn't. It was not helpful. It wasn't the next stage of video gaming with motion controls to have Wii Motion Plus. It just wasn't. Having my arm movements be tracked live by Link's sword, I mean, in the game, that means nothing to me. It does not improve my experience whatsoever. Alright, here's the boss key. I don't have to backtrack for it this time because I remembered that it was here. Let's now continue. Yes, but you were still standing there like a dick with your Wiimote in one hand and the nunchuck in another hand, which is just severely inferior to a controller experience. It just is. It will never not be inferior. And also, quite unfortunately, the game was flipped. So, yeah. No, I'm not saying that you sat awkwardly. I'm saying that you could have just had your hands on a controller, but instead you had one hand doing one thing and then another hand doing another. It's just not the same experience. I mean, again, you can say that it wasn't uncomfortable, but it's not about it being uncomfortable, it's about it being an inferior experience. Because you didn't have the comparison, you can't acknowledge, at least not fully, how much worse an experience you had. You don't have the point of reference. This game is so much better on a controller. The Wiimote and nunchuck is awful. Well, here's the thing. I don't agree that the GameCube controller was better for Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. I do not agree with that. I think that those games were designed for the Nintendo 64 controller. And as such, the Nintendo 64 controller actually feels better. It's weird. I mean, I've talked about this before, but one of the reasons why I never truly enjoyed Ocarina of Time properly, and that I sort of struggled with the feeling of Majora's Mask, was because I had actually started playing Ocarina of Time on the GameCube. I had the Ocarina of Time plus Master Quest GameCube disc, you see, the one that came with Wind Waker. And that was my first experience with Ocarina of Time, and it just didn't feel quite right. It's because the controller wasn't designed for a game like Ocarina of Time. But when I played Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask on a Nintendo 64 controller on a Nintendo 64, the game just felt right. The best way for me to describe it is that the clunkiness of the game felt properly reflected in the design of the controller. Whereas before then, there was a noticeable disconnect between those two things, the game and the controller. Oh, for fuck's sake! You literally just have to keep trying until you get the right one. But yeah, like I now have all of those games on their original cartridges for the Nintendo 64, but I didn't grow up with that, you see. Are you shitting me? I tried every single direction that was incorrect, and now I get to go on the correct one after having wasted my time. For fuck's sake. Oh, that sounds about right though, doesn't it? If you think about it, the one that you are probably least likely to try first is the one behind you. So I'm sure that's by design. I don't want that pot, I'm not interested. Do I have to claw shot at any point? Probably. Oh god, where am I claw shotting to? There, shit! Are you I hate this room. Trial and error is okay sometimes, but not like this. This is awful. This makes me genuinely displeased. I hate you with the passion of 1,000 suns. This room can fuck off. And you know the absolute shit on the... rather, the cherry on the shit cake is when you finally get through this room and then you realise that there's a boss key that you need that you probably haven't picked up. Fortunately, I have picked up that boss key, but... holy shit. Are you for real? Activate it. God. Alright. Let's continue on and actually succeed. Whoop. Let's jump onto that. Hello. Your friendly greeting has been received. I don't know where the fuck I'm going from here, but I do not want to have this platform disappear. I'll shield your attack, and then I suppose I'll claw shot to that. That seems to be what's expected of me here. Do not roll off the fucking edge, please. I hope I'm going the right way and doing the right thing. Oh yes. I'll give it a rest. I don't even know where he is, but I'm just going to try to figure out where he is and then avoid him as needed. Alright, land on that and get ready to shield if there is an attack coming your way. Which there is, but it missed. Okay. Now where are we going? Oh, we're apparently picking up a key, presumably. I assume it to be a key because that's how things have transpired thus far, so... yeah, probably a key, yeah it is. This is a case of me getting the key before I've actually found the door. Apparently the door's over there. I think we're jumping on this, aren't we? Yes we are. Do I need to claw shot? No I don't, it should just take me over there. That's very nice. Very nice of the game. That is a key, and obviously the next door that we reach will be the boss door. I think there is a confrontation before we actually fight the boss. We are actually at full health, which is nice. I wouldn't mind a fairy in one of these pots. That would be nice. I do have... oh, for goodness sake. A fairy in one of these pots would be nice because I do obviously have a pot that is not filled at all. It is the one from which I consumed that... whatever it was called. Red potion. Alright, what's going on? Where are the enemies? Hello. I don't know where you guys are, so it's going to make things a little harder. So one of you... oh, where's the other one? I'm not expected to kill all of them at the same time. Or at least to have them not leave one alive. I don't know what's going on. Oh, there's more. This would be a whole lot easier if I could see what the hell is going on. Fucking hell. Perhaps it's expected that I use the Master Sword for this instead. But I don't know if that's going to be all that easier. It may seem a bit repetitive, but that is what we were expected to do, if you can believe it. We just have to kill all of those enemies and make it work. A fairy? Yes. There we go. I wasn't expecting a fairy, I was just sort of hoping that there would be one. Ugh. You have to be careful with fairies, you don't want to accidentally walk into them and use them up. Alright, I will save, just for good measure. Come on. Alright. Now. I'm going to take a trip to the bathroom now, rather than later on. And once we... in other words, I've picked a better time for me to do it. And... yeah, we will take on the Zant boss. I'll see you in a moment. And I might actually check out the rain, because it's raining pretty damn hard at the moment. I'll see you in a bit. I'm back, and I've just been informed of something that I didn't know. I suppose because... well, I don't know why I didn't know, but anyway, apparently if I'm at full health, which I am, and I approach a fairy, and I'm not at full health, that's good to know, so I was right to avoid it. But if I am at full health, fairies will not actually attempt to heal me. They will instead sit on my shoulder, or on the tip of my sword, which is rather nice. What is not, however, rather nice, is that we see fit to put them in a bottle. I mean, how nasty is that? They're not just things, they're little humanoid creatures. As I understand it. I don't think they're actually balls of light, I think that's just how they're depicted. I think they're, in fact, little humanoid creatures. Anyway, at least in the Zelda series. I think we're ready to fight Zant now. He's not an especially difficult fight. But we've got 3 fairies and fairies' tears. I was going to say purple potion. What does this do? Restore all hearts and increase your attack power. God. I think that is the equivalent of a purple potion. although maybe not. Do purple potions exist in this game? That looks a bit more pink than purple. Maybe that exists as well as purple potions. Yeah, anyway. I'm not going to read all of the dialogue here. I don't see a need to do that. Again, for those who are watching this who haven't seen the other recordings that I've done, I apologise, but, you know, I'm just not feeling that up to it today. Am I thinking of a blue potion? You're probably right. Wonder why I was thinking of a purple potion. Huh. But yes, you're right. Generally, yeah, you are right, actually. It's a case of green for magic, red for health, and then blue for a whole lot of health. I'm not going to interrupt his neck snapping. That's for sure. The way he jumps like this, I mean, what a ridiculous character. Then he starts spinning around and... Thank you for that. See, what they could have done, they could have made him into a psychotic character, but there is a fine line between psychotic and just stupid and humorous and comical. This is not just weird and creepy and psychotic, this is just humorous. He's a joke of a character, and then this situation unfolds where he starts to smash his arms on the ground, then smash his head on the ground while howling. I like how he just stands there and takes it. Incidentally, this doesn't look any better in the HD version. It's not a great effect. Could be better. Which isn't exactly how he sounded in that moment, but close enough. And his helmet's back on for some reason. The boss fight will be starting soon. And by soon, I mean within the next 60 seconds. Probably more like 30. Alright. So each of these confrontations are obviously harkening back to previous fights that we've undertaken. I think the expectation is that we use the item that we would have used for each boss, but against him instead. So we'll do that. Stop that, dickhead. Just need to get him before... Here we go. The point is that if we get stuck shielding his attacks there, we can't really do much of anything. So we need to get him before he can actually get us stuck in that shielding animation. I think it's more than a bit of a shame, Takashi. I think it really has a negative effect on the game overall. Do we need to use the iron boots for this, maybe? I've got them here in case we need them. They obviously considered the mini-boss fight of the second dungeon to be more significant than the boss fight, at least for the Zant confrontation. Because they don't do... They make no actual attempt to do the second dungeon boss fight for Zant. They just do the mini-boss fight instead. And I do agree that the mini-boss fight was probably a little more dynamic. Alright, so we probably don't actually want to... Oops, I'd better change to the Zora armor for this one. Oh yeah, okay, I think we are expected to use the iron boots at the start. I think we need to claw shot him. Yeah. It'd be nice if I could fucking hit him though. Yeah, I also really like how they improved upon the design of the Zora armor compared to that of Ocarina of Time. Here we go, we have to select the correct one. The correct head. I think we're too far away from him, aren't we? Yeah, we are. Yeah, I'm way too far away. Maybe it would be better to swim before... Here we go. Swim over there, and then pull him towards us. Requires a little bit more thought, but it's not too bad. It's not like this incredible challenge. Oh, we're back to the first dungeon now. Do that, I suppose. There we go. I think there's a very short window of opportunity to actually knock him off there. Essentially, you use the Gale Boomerang to cause him to lose his balance, and then he has this very short period of time where he's... Yeah, see how short that window is? Oh my god. You have to be pretty onto it. And now I'm getting stuck in that fucking endless shielding animation. I have to actually stay really close to him. I fucking rolled into it, mate! What do you want? What's your problem? You need me to roll into it twice now? Prick. Hit it! God, the fact you need to hit it twice, that is totally unnecessary. Hit the fucking arsehole. I mean, who would have the patience for that? Having my stupid sword bouncing off the totem pole like that. Well, now once is fine, is it? Prick. Honestly. He's gonna get a sore foot. I'm gonna change to Link's armor set now. Or the proper armor set. Oh, I thought he was coming down. Oh, shit. His foot. No! What a poor performance, really. There we go. And then when he becomes small, I think we can attack him with our sword. There we go. Try that again. Need to catch up to him before he returns to being this big thing that wants to slam me. Damn it! You really do have to get that damage out. Otherwise he won't give you an opportunity. In other words, the longer it takes for you to start hitting him, the smaller your opportunity to hit him will be, or the shorter it will be. I'm trying to catch up to him, but he happens to be on a very slippery surface. Very little friction. Alright, this is the final stage of the fight. I think we are now actually here in front of Hyrule Castle. Not really the place where you were expecting one of the final bosses of the game to take place if you had ever arrived here in the past. Oh. Trying to get out of there. It helps to know what you're doing. Alright, fine. I'll keep away from you when you're doing that. Unless I do this. Well, it would be easier if I went around you, you know. Oh, for goodness sake. I can't see you. You're under no obligation to stand on one foot, you know. I don't think that's going to help you in any way. For goodness sake. Can't really keep up with him. I'm going to just blame camera constraints. You can see that I'm actually making a conscious effort to get away from him when he does that. Oh, for goodness sake. Is it annoying? Yes. The reality is that it is annoying. I'm trying my utmost. Don't you think it's the most cheesy way to fucking hit someone? You're an ass. Please tell me that you're dead. Thank you. God, that's the Zant fight, everyone. What a waste of space. And then he hops around and dies. But not before he makes ridiculous noises, of course. That's a requirement. So we are 1 hour and 37 minutes in. That's sort of what I expected. I was hoping to get to this point at about 1 hour and 10 minutes. Did I say 1 hour and 30 seconds? I mean, 1 hour and 30 minutes. 1 hour and 10 minutes is what I was aiming for, but that's fine. Look, it probably will end up being about 4 hours. No, I'm gonna say that it will be about 3.5 hours for me to get this done. I think so. Ganondorf's here. What I don't like is that they call him Ganon in this game. Ganon is supposed to refer to the beast, not the man. But they just say Ganon here. And to be honest, I think they did the same in Wind Waker. And then Zant turns into a fucking balloon and pops. Anyway. Whoa! Midna's so powerful. Do I get a heart container out of that? I think I deserve one. I was not expecting one, but now that the time has come, that I've basically finished a dungeon, killed a boss, I think I'm... If I'm not in receipt of one, I will start to complain. You know, if you're gonna stand there and say, let's go, I'm gonna get excited. I'm gonna be like, yeah, Midna, let's go into battle. I'll go through hell and high water to defend your honor. I'm a bit of a Midna guy, okay. She's my favorite Legend of Zelda character. Seriously. Which is saying a lot, considering I'm slightly Zelda obsessed. Thanks for joining us, Hey Gaming. I'll see you again soon. Come on. Yes, by the way, the date is totally wrong. I realise this. That's actually saying the 10th of March. Do not expect the dates to be correct. At some point, my save date battery, basically there's a battery inside the GameCube that allows you to, or allows the system rather, to continue counting the time down. Not down, let me rephrase that. The time of day can continue progressing even while the system is switched off, thanks to a battery inside it. That battery has died. It died about a year ago, which means it lasted a long time if you think about it. But yes, it has died, and that's a little unfortunate, but yeah, it just means that all the dates are now incorrect when I save. So, that's regrettable. Alright, let's get out of this place. I have done all I really need to do here. I think I have reached a maximum in terms of my rupees. I have reached a maximum, and I'm quite comfortable being at this maximum because I have no need for rupees at this stage. I do love the music of the Gerudo Desert. Yeah, Gerudo Desert. I keep going to say Gerudo Valley, but it is just the Gerudo Desert here in this game. Well, the thing is, with the magic armor, I feel like no matter what, I could be saving it for a better moment. I might use the magic armor during my confrontations with the final boss, but for now I'm quite happy with keeping my rupees at 600. I wish magic armor wasn't so prohibitive by design. Like, the use of it. I wish the use of it wasn't so prohibitive, because it does drain your rupees really fast. Let's just take a moment to appreciate how quickly it drains your rupees, okay? I suppose if it were 1 rupee per second, it would probably be a bit too much, wouldn't it? This is more along the lines of 2 or 3 rupees per second. Yeah, it's about 2 rupees per second, which is... it adds up. Quite frankly, I don't think it's reasonable. But of course, yeah, I mean, to be honest, how do you balance it? I'm sure that was something that Nintendo struggled with. They were wondering how to make it so that people didn't just use the magic armor all the time, but as far as I'm concerned, if it drains rupees when you use it, you're never going to have it on permanently. Just the mere fact that it drains rupees at all means that you're not going to just have it on constantly. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Having a magic bar just for the magic armor? Not sure. I'm sure there are ways to improve upon the whole idea, but as I understand it, it was not changed in the HD version, so it is what it is. No revisionist hand has, as yet, fixed the system as it was designed to be in Twilight Princess, the original version. As I am aware, we have nothing more to do before heading to the final area of the game. We are, I think, missing 2 heart containers, aren't we? Yeah, just 2 heart containers, that's it. Considering that I didn't aggressively gather all of the heart pieces that I could in this game, and I also, more recently when picking up the game, made no attempt at all to pick up heart pieces, I've got a decent number of heart containers, so I'm happy with this. I always found this to be quite funny when I was younger. Because obviously she's putting on this really powerful combination of... well, the pieces themselves are something of a combination, I suppose, but she's put on this really powerful mask and all it's doing is throwing her against the wall. But then, yes, what it's supposed to show is that she has no control over it. I suppose that's the point of it. But her intention remains the same, and that is to destroy the barrier that has been erected by Ganon. Squidner cutscene? You call this Squidner? Okay. Well, that's why she's the Twilight Princess, you see, Takashi. It's because she's more attractive than the rest of her people. Alright. It is raining in real life and it is raining in game. So let's make a start. This is the final area of the game. Oh, I like that. You don't just press A and walk in, you have to actually grab the door and push it. I like that. That's the way to do it. Yes, well, I'm not sure why you were called the Twilight Princess, Takashi, but we'll go with that. Okay, I was going to say alright, and then decided to say okay instead. I think we go to the left side first. I believe. Oh, sorry, I have to deal with you first. Well, the bokoblins that I was going to attack, and then also the flying bastard. Come on! I'll finish you, right in the crotch. How do you feel about that? I'll give it a rest. There's too many of you. I'm gonna have to finish all of you, apparently. Fine. You are dead. You as well. Thank God for that. Oh, I see. You had a shirt from Nintendo Power prior to the release of this game, which made people call you Twilight Princess at school. Okay. Well, that's fair enough. Well, I suppose to be fair, without context, just the phrase Twilight Princess is, you know, a sort of a weird thing to walk around with on your shirt. It's whatever. Come on. There you go. See, I need some old shirts like those. I don't have any of those. Some proper old Zelda shirts. Come on. I'm doing the spin attack without charging it, which requires me to spin around physically first. Oh, God. Having to fight all of you guys really is just bothersome. It's not difficult, and I'm not enjoying it either. It's just a bothersome exercise. Maybe I can get some hearts from this grass. No. I got absolutely nothing from that grass. I can keep cutting the grass if I'd like. Here we go, I got a heart out of that, at least. There we are. Very good. And here's our friend. We know this guy. Remember him from the Arbiter's grounds? I have come to play. Didn't know he could talk, but anyway. It's hard to know if he is the one from the Arbiter's Grounds or not. He probably isn't, but if you remember, the one from the Arbiter's Grounds did survive. Well, it wasn't actually the Arbiter's Grounds, it was technically the Gerudo Desert. Come on. Yeah. No, I've got 2 hits out of that one, fortunately. You're going to swing your axe, or are you going to not? Seems like you shall not. Can I have your key now? You're clearly not putting up much of a fight. I think you're mentally incapable of keeping up with me. I think it's about time. Can you believe that this oh, okay, well that hurt. Can you believe that this fat, green creature is capable of taking this many hits from a Master Sword? And then he smiles at me after all that? After that absolute beatdown, he smiles at me. Enough. What's going on with you? What? I only vaguely remember this, weirdly enough. I follow the strongest side. That is all I have ever known. Yes, but what are you going to do to help me in this scenario? I don't think you're doing anything to be of assistance. You followed the strongest side, but now you're just riding off into the distance. Link, he spoke. Yeah, he did. It's a bit weird, but anyway. The entire reason why we went in this direction first was so that we could pick up a key. I do believe that the key is required to progress. So, that's, that is what it is. No, I think this Link is brown-haired, isn't he? He's not dirty blonde. Does he even have enough of that sort of colour to be called dirty blonde? I've always referred to him as brown-haired. This has always been a brown-haired Link to me. I can't really take off his hat, but I don't even consider that to be dirty blonde. But definitely, Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 Link are not dirty blonde, they're just brown-haired. The first blonde-haired Link was the one from Ocarina of Time, so... yeah, as far as I'm concerned, this is just a return to the old hair colour. I think the only reason why a person would even consider this to be dirty blonde would be in recognition of the fact that he was blonde for a time, but I think no, they're just going for brown hair here. What, here? He's not blonde here. No way. Light brown. Link was blonde in A Link to the Past? Are you fucking sure? Are you no. Blonde since A Link to the Past? Either you're taking hard drugs or I am. Link was not blonde in A Link to the Past. Was he? No, that's not... That's light brown. Are you... Takashi, I can only give you a pass on that to a certain degree. That is not blonde. That's brown, man. Different shades of brown, sure. Depending on the game, different shades of brown, but that's light brown. He has pink hair in that game. Well, that's a different subject entirely. That's fucking light brown. Come on, give me a break. He was a brown-haired character until Ocarina of Time. Ugh. I don't quite know what you mean by that, Bread Users, but I'll take that as a compliment tentatively. Alright, so I don't know if we actually want to continue in this direction yet. I think we do. I don't think there's really any reason for us to go over to this side. In fact, you know what? I have taught myself not to go to this right side. I have to deal with these guys now. But yeah, there's actually no reason to go to the right side at all. I remember that in my... Okay, so let me give you an idea of the situation. I did my first Let's Play of this game in 2015, finished it in 2016, and it was in that Let's Play that I learnt that going to the... Like, properly learnt that going to the right side of this location is a bad idea. I did my first livestream playthrough of this game in the HD version, but at that point I had a vague memory of it being a waste of time to go to the right side. But I went there anyway, and then I was like, no, I was totally right. This is a complete waste of my time. I have a distinct feeling for my third playthrough, which was my second livestream playthrough, which was in the Japanese version. I did actively avoid this direction. I am now going to, in this playthrough, my fourth playthrough, and my third livestream playthrough, avoid it again. It can fuck off, I'm not doing it. Whoa. Ethan. Did you intend to write that in all caps? Like, is this some sort of expression of your strength of feeling on this subject? This one is not blonde. Are we really going to have this conversation? Are we really going to look at this and say, that's blonde? That's blonde, everyone. He is fucking brown-haired. He's got light brown hair. It's not dirty blonde, even. Come on. He's not blonde-haired. You people are smoking something, I'm telling you. Makes me sick. What's, like, you're crazy. This is not blonde. Link is blonde in a handful of games, okay? Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, and the DS games, okay? That's blonde Link. The rest of them have varying shades of brown hair. That is the reality. You can either accept it or not, but that's it, man. Fucking dirty blonde. My ass. Can't believe it. Boots equals brown, hair equals blonde. Ethan, you need to dunk your head in the toilet or something, man. Like, that's ridiculous. That's like, no. It's not even a point of argument. Come on. His boots are clearly green. No, but the point is that his hair is brown, okay? Maybe your countries, our different countries have different ideas of blonde. Is that what it is? I don't know, like... Listen, what dirty blonde is it's a transition from light brown to blonde. But there is a sufficient amount of blonde in there to be considered not quite light brown, but in fact, beginning to be considered blonde. This is brown. Like, I'm sorry, it's fucking brown. That's it. I have known many people who have dirty blonde hair. And this is not dirty blonde, this is brown. Okay. Now, I should take note of the fact that this location, for some reason, is very difficult for my GameCube to run. My GameCube is running this at, like, 20 frames per second. Probably even less. Look at this. Ugh. Anyway. Ethan, I don't know what color your hair is because I don't look at you all the time. I don't know what color your hair is. It could be all sorts of things. Could be pink for all I know. But I'd say, based on my vague memories, a light brown that's almost reddish. Maybe not reddish, but I don't know. My vague recollections of your hair. Hold on. I've been sent a picture now. I have to fucking check this picture. Right here. Look at all the blonde. Oh, come on. This is revisionist, man. You've done a very... what, is this an official 25th anniversary picture? This is revisionist, I'm sorry. These pictures here do not reflect the art of the time. For each individual game... Wait, not that it matters, but did Skyward Sword Link have blonde hair? I can't remember, because it's irrelevant. Let me now get off that subject. But the point is that you're literally, like in this picture, essentially, ladies and gentlemen, for those who do not have the privilege of seeing the picture that Takashi sent in the chat, he sent me a picture where a Link to the Past Link and not Ocarina, but Oracle of Seasons / Ages Link has blonde hair. Like, that's not the color that they used back then. It was light brown. It was an earthy brown color that happened to be a bit of a light shade. Yes, this picture that you have sent are varying shades of blonde, but none of these, or at least many of these, were not used in the promotional images for the characters in question. I should amend the previous statement that I made, which was that, well, I gave a list of the games where Link was blonde. Another one that I forgot was Minish Cap. He was blonde in the Minish Cap. But Link was brown-haired in, just to make it very clear, Zelda 1, Zelda 2, A Link to the Past, Link's Awakening, Twilight Princess, and, not that I can, yeah, also Breath of the Wild. So, you can send these pictures that literally revise the standard if you'd like, but unfortunately, that's unrepresentative of the reality. It's just not true. Anyway. No, you can... If it is official, it doesn't mean that it actually aligns with... What, Breath of the Wild? Hold on. Let's look at Breath of the Wild Link's hair. This is very important. If you think that by saying that... Okay, I wasn't sure in the first instance if that was an official artwork that you sent. If it is an official artwork, I'm telling you categorically that it is revisionist. For the benefit of Zelda fans, it is revisionist, and the reason why it is, well, to start with, it doesn't actually reflect the art that was released back in the 90s and in the 80s for those characters, but more specifically, it is nicer for all the Links to have a pretty similar hair color. That's not how it actually is in reality. If they've got a picture that is designed to reflect the 25th anniversary of the series, where it has all the different Links, it's probably nicer for them to have roughly the same hair color across all of them. Now let's look at Breath of the Wild. I was going based on a vague memory of Breath of the Wild, but let's actually have a look at Breath of the Wild Link. Let's look at his hair. That one's definitely debatable. No, I'll still comfortably say brown for that one. Yeah, that's brown. Dirty blonde, you can get away with that, but I'd still say that's a light shade of brown. The thing with Breath of the Wild Link's hair color is that it's actually unnatural. It's not quite what you'd see growing out of an actual person's head, because it's got an unnatural shade of blonde/brown. So it actually creates a different unnatural hair color. So at that point, it's ambiguous enough to comfortably say either brown or blonde, but I would say that it's brown. That I would be more comfortable calling that brown. Oh, Ethan. This is apparently a subject that really needs to be... Ethan. He sent me a picture of his hair. You've got an almost platinum dirty blonde hair color, Ethan. It should be mentioned that I don't even... And when I say platinum, I mean that it's got like an almost... I don't like that picture, Ethan, because most of your hair is covered by a cap, okay? But what I'll say is that that hair color that you've sent, based on that picture, that's a little different from even my concept of both brown and dirty blonde. That's almost slightly different. It seems to be lacking in color, yet simultaneously is not quite brown, yet not blonde either. So, yeah, bad picture, try again. Anyway, I do happen to be playing a game. Oh, the frame rate in this location is truly terrible. I should also mention that I don't know precisely where I'm going. Ooh, maybe I'll open that chest. Seeing as though I was already there, I'll open that chest. Hold on. Let's head on down. It is a compass. I think you noticed that that entire scene played out slower due to the lower frame rate in this area. I don't remember if it had this kind of trouble in the Japanese version actually, but this is noticeably bad. Oh, the YouTube viewers can deal with it. I had to actually clear my name. I've been accused of being delusional for speaking the downright fucking truth, so... I mean, I just had to establish this. I'm perfectly content with failing to convince those who are themselves convinced of a false reality, but you know. I don't know. It's an interesting subject, though, to think that we can't even agree on the hair color of the character. But, yeah, I think the problem is that there is a subjective grey area between light brown and dirty blonde. Because if you can look at a picture of a Link to the Past Link and say that's dirty blonde, that means you have a completely different concept of blonde to me. That is a fact. So... And if you can look at an 80s Link image and go, oh, that's dirty blonde, you need to get some sort of eye examination. And I will furthermore say that if you post a picture of an official 25th anniversary mock-up of all the Links, and then you want to tell me that the hair color of all of those older Links that are pictured, namely the Link to the Past one, and then tell me that that's the same as the promotional artwork of the time, then you're either pulling my leg, or you need an extensive eye examination, and possibly furthermore, additional mental examination. That is what I would say in response to that. Oh, well, I'm glad... Okay. Brilliant. Zelda 1 and 2, according to Takashi, is brown. We've made progress. That's a good start. I think that you are willing to accept that to be dirty blonde, Takashi, but you, at least for the sake of argument, we have agreed that it is brown, which makes me happy. A Link to the Past Link, however, is not dirty blonde. That is light brown. Sorry. We can agree to disagree on that point if necessary. Part of the reason why... Oh, I probably should fill this. Part of the reason why I was not too sure if it was official or not, that image that you sent, was because it was shockingly revisionist. And also depicted a Twilight Princess Link with a different shade of blonde to anything that I've seen before. Or a different shade of brown looking like blonde than I've ever seen before. Well, there's nothing wrong with revisionist pieces. I think actually, you know what? I just remembered the best way to approach this whole room. It is best to remove that, and that, and that. Hold on, there must be something else that's lit. What I was going for was... Oh, I understand what's happened here, yeah. They trick you. They make it look as if you need to light the torches, but in actual fact there is one single torch that you should... Instead of light, you should extinguish it. like so. I don't know why this one's still up here, but I should be able to stand here and still extinguish the flame. So let's give that a try. I don't know if that's in any way helpful. I'm doing that just for good measure. Alright, that's how we want to approach it. We'll open that chest now. Alright, Ethan sent a better picture. He wants me to... This is for his benefit more than anyone else's. We're going to see what your hair colour is. Yeah, you've got blonde hair, Ethan. You've definitely got blonde hair. We'll say dirty blonde just because... I mean, there are many different shades of blonde, obviously, but you've got sort of a brownish blonde, dirty blonde, whatever you want to say. But you've actually got an interesting streak to that. When I say streak, I mean there's an element to your hair which is not quite blonde and it's not quite brown. It's actually, I would say, platinum in that it's lacking colour. That's not to say you're... I'm not saying you have grey hair, Ethan. I'm just saying that it's a very neutral tone, quite lacking in colour. But I wouldn't want to say that it's bleach blonde either. Bleach blonde... Well, no, it is sort of a little bit like bleach blonde, but it doesn't actually... It's only part of your hair that's that colour. If all of your hair was that colour, that'd probably be pretty close to bleach blonde. But anyway. Okay, Ethan sent the photo in the chat, just so that you can have a better idea of what he means. Because, like I said, that... You couldn't say that's even light brown. That's obviously entering the realms of blonde. But it's actually a rather unique style of blonde. Anyway, what I'm going to do is get another beer ready, because I do still have a little bit more left to do in this game. I've gotten through my Latrap Bock beer. The one that I quite embarrassingly referred to as Lef until I looked at my own OBS playback and said to myself, and also verbally for you all to hear, that's not Lef, that's Latrap, you dick. Anyway, I'll be back in just a moment. I'll probably need about a minute. I'll see you in a sec. Sorry, I took a little bit of time to locate my bottle opener. Alright, let's properly cap off that beverage. Now, my next beverage is one that I've never had on camera before. This is quite an auspicious occasion anyway. It's me finally putting an end in one long session to my Twilight Princess livestream playthroughs. Should be able to get it done in this session anyway. It is Golden Drak. It's a very good beer from Belgium. I have a glass for it. I have a distinct feeling that I've consumed something out of this glass before on camera, but it's obviously what they're going for is like a dragon egg sort of look. If you can see the base of it here, it's quite nice, but you can really tell that they're going for a dragon egg look with this glass. This is a bit of an older glass. It's not quite vintage, you know, but it's a bit old. But yeah, it's a very good beer. I hope it's not too cold. Hopefully it's not too cold. What do you mean by clip through the wall? Pete Berry. Apparently if I stand here for 11 hours, I'll begin to clip through the wall. Very well. Come on. There we go. There's the bottle cap. Very nice. Slightly... Oh, it's dripping. It's dripping. Ah! Don't worry, I've got paper towel. It's not how quite... That's not quite how I wanted that to go. I wanted to rip off a section of it, but instead I just ripped off a little bit. Which was really not quite what I was going for. I was going for something both comical and well done, but it ended up just being comical. That's alright. It's a thing in a speedrun. Link's animation of holding a rupee doesn't stop properly, so he's actually moving incredibly slowly. Oh, I see. Oh, I didn't realise. It doesn't sound like a good speedrun tactic, though. How slow are typical speedruns that you have to stand still for 11 hours to pass through a wall and then achieve what? It doesn't sound like a great idea to me. Definitely sounds like an interesting exploit. But... well, whatever the category is, it sounds extremely boring to watch. I don't think I'd want to watch it. Anyway, it sounds like it shouldn't even be called a speedrun at that point. Feels good to finally consume this beverage on camera. I haven't had one of these in a long time. At least... well, maybe I had one a short time ago, but it'd been a long time since I had one at that point. Hope it's not too cold. Again, with a beverage like this, you don't want it to be too cold, but... yeah, this should be good. Very different to the previous one I just had. A much more rich flavour, even. Considerably heavier. This one's, I think, 10.5 alcohol by volume as opposed to the 7% from the previous one. Very good beer, though. Alright. Well, after having slightly... oh, I can't actually take that rupee because, indeed, my wallet is full. Alright. So, after shifting awkwardly in my chair, we're going to continue. I wish I could remember which direction I'm supposed to go in. I know that one of them is quite fruitless, and then the other will yield some sort of progress for me in this castle. I think it is the left direction. I'm just feeling my way through it. Alright. I do have a distinct feeling that I'm going the right way. I think even though I've been taking things rather slowly for the last little while, let's say the last 30 minutes, I should be able to get this done within 3.5 hours. I'd say an hour from now until... Let me rephrase that. I think that it will take about an hour between now and the conclusion of the game. That should be perfectly fine. How I remembered it to be this one, I've got no fucking idea. I don't know. I'm feeling my way through it. Sometimes one's subconscious memories really do find their way into the conscious mind even. I don't really want to fight you guys, but I'll live with it. Do I need a boss key for this? I do, but I think the boss key... This location, or this dungeon if we want to call it that, is sufficiently linear for one to pick up the boss key without any real puzzle associated with it. See, this is the problem. I don't want to, in the process of hitting one of these enemies, get hit by the other. It's really annoying. This is stupid. I hate this. I'm sure that there's a strategy to do this properly, but... Hit the other one! Shit! I suppose if I'm targeting the other guy... This is really frustrating, actually. By the way, I don't think I have all of the hidden skills. I think there was one more that I was needing. Perhaps not needing, but one that I could have acquired, but didn't. Yes, hit him quickly. I don't care if I take a hit from the other guy. I'll live with it. You can see how annoying it is to fight two of them. But I persist nonetheless. Oh god. You have to actually really persist with the enemy if you have broken their guard briefly. Alright, that one's dead. Fuck. I didn't lose as much health as I could have, but it still wasn't great. Would have preferred to lose a whole lot less. More than anything else, it's just very annoying to fight two of them. Because you feel like, in hitting one of them, you must take a hit from the other. And then obviously if you're taking a hit, that negatively impacts your ability to deal damage. Because you're too busy sitting there taking a hit. Getting thrown on the ground or whatever else. May as well access this chest here. Purple rupee, which I cannot take. I've got no idea what this is going to do. No. I don't care if that's a piece of heart. I am not going over there to pick it up. I don't have either the desire, the willingness, or quite frankly the need to go and pick that up. I don't care what it is. It's not a boss key, so it's irrelevant to me. Alright. There's the boss key over there. Of course, it's not going to be that simple. We need to fight some enemies first. As well as these pleasant creatures. Oh. What was that? I can't actually remember who this is. Whatever's going on, they're doing a good job of dispatching my enemies. The gang's all here. I'm glad that they do play a part in this situation. It's sort of... it makes them more relevant to the story. They're not just a means to an end, they also have some purpose in the future. Alright, now that we've picked up this boss key, I think we can then continue in the other direction. I think that's how it works. Remember, we went to the left before we went to the right. Acquiring that boss key is most of what we needed to do in this direction, I think. Oh, we need a regular key to get through that. Here's hoping it's over here. Perhaps I was wrong and that, in actual fact, we didn't want to go in that left direction. That's fine. I don't care who's going to be involved. I'm going to kill them. You again! God. I've had enough of you. I fought quite a few of you in the previous dungeon. Not technically the previous one, but the previous full dungeon at least. I love that they give me an A prompt to jump, as if I'm going to reach him. Alright. Good for you. Step on your head a little bit. Oh, that is the wrong direction. I want to be going over here. This should be a chest with a key in it. If it's not a chest with a key in it, then I will be officially confused. Good. Now, I can't really speak for what's going on with these barred doors, but we'll head over here instead. Well, yeah, I do like the atmosphere of this place as well, Peaberry. It's quite a nice place to be. But we do have a game to complete, as much as I'd like to sit there and relax. Not sure what's happening in this room. Oh, I understand, yes. That is assuming that the sense can be used for... Occasionally... I don't know... Oh, yes, you're pointing in that direction. That's very helpful. Very helpful. Maybe I should just... keep my sense activated. You never know, it might actually be necessary for me to follow their path that they're pointing out. I was making fun of it initially, but oh, yep, that is actually how that works. Unless I follow the path that they point out, I will fall to my death. Alright. Oh, it's actually hard to make a small adjustment to one's position when you're in wolf form. Yep. And then from here, fuck if I know, because... Oh, there we go. Very good. That was good enough. It makes sense, of course, that they made the decision to have those annoying, invisible rat creatures attack you, because unless they did that, I wouldn't have actually been able to... What am I supposed to do from here? I guess I just have to jump across, don't I? That's fine. Can I make that jump? I don't know if I can. Just in case, I'm going to try and claw shot. Come on. You can do better than that. Apparently you can't claw shot to that, so I just have to try and make the jump. Which I can do. Just in case I couldn't, I wanted to be extra careful. Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's clever in the sense that they wouldn't have expected the player to just automatically use their senses to get across there. They would have assumed that it was instead some nasty trial and error process where you just have to keep failing until you work it out, but in actual fact, there would have been those ghost creatures, those spirits, I suppose you could say, helping you out. I'm not sure how this is supposed to work. Can I reach that? Yes, I can. Okay. That eliminates my confusion. That wouldn't be the first time that's tricked me. I had a distinct feeling that that would happen as well, but I thought I'd go for it, with the realization that it would be quite funny if it did fuck me up, in the event that it did. That was actually really repetitive and unnecessary, what I just said. Come on, get it. We need to go to this one and then drop. It just feels a little unnecessary, but it is required. No matter how unnecessary it may feel, it is required. I'll finish one of you. It'd be so good if I could finish both of them in that way. One after the other sequentially. Alright. This is probably going to be a little challenging. I'm likely to fail this a few times. So what I'll do to try and avoid that is I'll check timing. This should be correct. Oh, good enough. Well, I didn't fail, did I? So that will suffice. Alright, we have... What are these guys? Are these called dark nuts? I think they are. They're considered dark nuts. There was a time in the past, and it was a very long time ago, probably 12 plus years ago, when I refused to refer to them as dark nuts because I said to myself, well, why would they be called dark nuts? They're dark knights. They're knight-looking, like they are knightly individuals, and they wear dark armor, so they're dark knights, not dark nut. Like, what's it? How are they nuts? And why would you call them dark nuts, irrespective of whether it's literally a nut? I mean, it's K-N-U-T, I think. No, it's not even. The K comes from the dark part. D-A-R-K-N-U-T. So yeah, what's the nut part? Why are they called nuts? It's ridiculous. Anyway, I've gotten over it now. I suppose my sense of dignity has diminished and I can actually refer to them as dark nuts instead of dark knights, but seriously. There was a time when I refused. Oh, good for you, mate. I'll do it back. Let's see if it does anything to you. That was actually fairly effective. That was something of a parry. Oh wow, the mere unsheathing of his sword was enough to hit me. I found the dark nuts of Ocarina of Time to be considerably more intimidating than these guys, but they're still pretty cool. I would say that the Ocarina of Time ones were most intimidating. The Wind Waker ones were the coolest, but these guys are nice, I suppose. That is the door to the final boss, ladies and gentlemen. There are... Look how many chests are apparently over there. What the hell? I don't have the key to that door and I don't care. I don't want it. I'm about to finish the game, so I'm ready to go. This is it. Final boss. We are at 2 hours and 33 minutes. Wow, I'm making good progress. Shed is fine. Shed their armor. Although I suppose implicit in the use of the word shed is that they intend to do it, but you do break it off. But still, I mean, shed their armor is fine. Sufficiently descriptive, anyway. Here we are at Hyrule Castle. The final boss sequence of this game is probably my favourite of all the Zelda games. I'm not going to clarify that further because you're about to see the fights, and if for some reason someone is watching this without actually knowing what is to come, which will probably not describe any of you, but just in case, I'm gonna let you enjoy the fights as they are. I don't immediately remember how to actually fight these bosses, but as I watch them fight themselves, I'll remember how to counteract their attacks. Welcome to my castle. So you're Ganondorf. Okay, so you do refer to him as Ganondorf in this game. That's good. Maybe I'm thinking of Wind Waker. In Wind Waker, they just did not use the word Ganondorf at all. They only refer to him as Ganon. That's an exceptionally intimidating earring that you're wearing. I've been dying to meet you. Your people have long amused me, Midna, to defy the gods with such petty magic, only to be cast aside. How very pathetic. Pathetic as they were, though, they served me well. Their anguish was my nourishment. Their hatred bled across the void and awakened me. I drew deep of it and grew strong again. Your people have had some skill, to be sure, but they lacked true power. What I love about this is just how much a product of its time this game was. Just this entire sequence of dialogue is so early to mid-2000s. It's great. I love it. The kind of absolute power that those chosen by the gods wield. He who wields such power would make a suitable king for this world, don't you think? Yes, I would. Ha, such conceit. But if you are one of the chosen wielders of power, as you claim, I will risk everything to deny you. There's something about that particular line that's really memorable to me. I remember when I first saw that line when playing the game for the first time, for example. You can't always remember that, especially when it's an older game that you played a long time ago, but I do remember when I first saw that. Shadow has been moved by light, it seems. How amusing. I'm an antagonist, with a creepy smile. And big creepy eyes. Very well, deny me then. Yes, try to deny me, you and your little friend. That's a scary face. I do love this scene. That's great. That moment right there. And just the way it turns into a boss fight. Both of you, faithless fools who would dare to take up arms against the King of Light and Shadow. So you choose, and so you shall feel my wrath. Alright. So I think this is a rather similar confrontation to that of Phantom Ganon from Wind Waker, for example. And therefore, similar to that of the Ganondorf fight from Ocarina of Time. Okay. I think that is the impact. There is no expectation of a follow-up arrow. There's no expectation of us physically hitting the enemy. That on its own is the impact. So that is the way in which this differs. Which is sort of a simplification of the fight, but it's fine. Whoops. Almost fucked that up. By moving while doing it. I like that. I do like this fight, it's good. It's a very memorable fight. The entire game was very memorable, honestly. Oh, that is difficult for my GameCube to handle. I can't remember if my GameCube ran it better back then, or if... What I really should stress is that I'm playing this on the very same GameCube, using the very same disc that I first used to experience this game. And it makes me wonder if these moments where the frame rate drops, if that's how it was in the past or not, because I was much less sensitive to that sort of thing back then. Yeah, I'm sorry to say that you're never going to perform a sharp enough turn to hit me if you miss me at that point. So. Go on. Good. Now hurry up. Very good. There we go. Yeah, it's a very good fight. But you can also tell that it's only the first of many, because it wasn't particularly difficult, but it was enjoyable. The darkness has been forcefully removed from Zelda. Yeah, that as well, Ethan. Ethan says, I think the thing I liked about this game is how believable it made all of the Zelda universe. That's because it took itself very seriously. I mean, people have different perspectives on that. If a game takes itself too seriously and it has what people like to say an edgy feeling to it, they themselves struggle to take it seriously and just reject that. Actually, I'll stay in human form. I can't remember if we're supposed to do this... No, we are supposed to do this in... I'm trying to remember how this is done. I think initially we're supposed to shoot the head with an arrow, and then we're supposed to use Wolf Link. I believe that's what we're expected to do. Yeah, that ended up hitting me, but as long as I can get in there and hit the stomach, we'll be okay. This is Ganon. This is the beast form of Ganondorf. We need to wait until the portal comes. Oh, never mind, you literally land on me. What the fuck? Can I circle around you fast enough? Your fucking tail's in the way. Damn you. Alright. Well, yeah. They could have used this as a starting point to really progress the series in a meaningful direction, but I don't really feel that they did that. It was a real shame. Alright, as long as I'm on this side of Ganon, I can reach the stomach fairly easily. Now I think we're going to get the portal where he charges out of it. Yes, we are. We wait until the portal turns blue, at which point we can expect him to emerge, and then... Oh, we missed it. We actually missed the weak point. I wasn't expecting that because I'm pretty sure they're quite lenient with that. As long as it's roughly near the weak point, it's good enough. Not this time. Oh my god, you'd think that would be close enough, wouldn't you? That's just insulting. Alright. Yes, Midna. Maybe she does have words of wisdom to help me in this situation. He's changing his strategy. Not only can you not confuse him, but you won't be able to attack. Ah-ha-ha! Beast against beast. How about matching an evil beast against a sacred beast? Okay. I had admittedly forgotten that we should do... Oh, we were given our A prompt, but I was a little bit too slow. There is a short window in which we may press the A button to grab onto his head. I think that's what's expected. I think we're actually expected to attempt to shoot arrows at the head, and then we can use Wolflink to get this done. Whoops, I got an A prompt, but that was definitely not it. Oh well. Let's try to get this right. I pressed the A button to grab. You can see that the entire interaction between myself and Ganon in that moment was a little different to anything that's happened thus far, but obviously the timing was still not quite right. I think I'm supposed to hold the A button to grab, because I only pressed it in that moment. Maybe that's what it was. I had begun the process of successfully grabbing him, but I didn't hold down the button, so it didn't work. I think we're supposed to hold A to grab, and then we need to move ourselves in a direction, so I'm throwing like so. Throwing him to that side so that we can access the stomach properly. Oh, one attack with B? I'm getting some arrows anyway. There are actually 4 stages to this final boss fight. Technically 3 different bosses, but... oh, well. I was out of position. 3 different bosses, but 4 stages to the fight. Basically... Ganondorf has... oh, fuck me. I'd much prefer it if he... oh, I understand what's happening. He is doing this much faster now, which works in my favor. It's going to be much faster to get this done. Here we go. That's what I want to do. I want to do that jump attack and bite him like that. But yeah, Ganondorf, when we do fight him, which will be in a moment, we'll have 2 stages to the fight. I actually find the first stage of the fight to be a little harder. But I do have good days and bad days with Ganondorf. Sometimes when I fight him, there's no problem at all. And then other days, it takes me forever to actually get the damage out. You'll see what I mean. Well, hopefully you won't see what I mean. I don't want to demonstrate what it means for Doom Link to be having a bad day while fighting Ganondorf, because it's going to be slow, annoying, and painful, not just for me, but for you, I would imagine. Yeah, the first stage of the fight with Ganondorf is really fun. It's very good. Princess, I say nothing, Midna. Well, geez. Your heart and mine were as one, however briefly. Such suffering you have endured. Oh no. It's the spooky effect, again. The one that doesn't look very good. We've got the... What were you calling it? Squidma? Anyway. We're getting that moment again. Well, she was Ethan. I mean, Ethan and I are of one mind when we refer to Midna. She's the best fucking companion in the series, and she's at least my favorite character in the series. So, if you compare this to, for example, Navi from Ocarina of Time, I think the significance and the relatability of Midna is infinitely better. Well, I think the Skyward Sword companion was alright, except that she had no fucking personality. You couldn't relate to her. Maybe it got better as the story continued, but... yeah. You bastard! What have you done to Midna? And I love that he's got ghost riders behind him. And Tattle is great. Spirits of the light, wielders of great power that shine, or the great power that shines far and wide upon the lands of our world. I have to say it quickly because it might disappear. In my hour of need, grant me the light to banish evil. Well, you didn't banish evil, you just evaded it. The words banish and evade are notably different. Now, what she's actually receiving is the light arrow at this point. She's apparently already got a bow and arrows, but they're going to be imbued with light, which she will use to aid us. Oh, we've only got 3 shots, guys. 3 shots. In actual fact, it's not 3 shots. It's many more. It's as many as we need. But canonically speaking, it's 3 shots. And you know what that means? It means that we only need 3 shots to get it right. Or rather, what I should say is that 3 shots are required. But if we miss at any point, it's fine. What I love about that interaction is that Link is going for your standard handshake, but because Zelda's a princess, she, places her hand on his in that very feminine and upper class way. I'll try to slow Ganondorf with my light arrows, you do that. You target him and okay, never mind. I thought the light arrow was something that would be shot to deal damage. It is instead designed to keep him in place. I think how this works is we need to align ourselves with Ganondorf properly so that Zelda can shoot off a light arrow, keep him in place, which slows him down, and then we catch up to him and hit him with our Master Sword. So, I'm going to have to feel my way through this, but targeting is essential. Okay, that's great. Great start to the fight. I will tell you that in my Twilight Princess HD playthrough of this game, the livestream playthrough, I had a very difficult time fighting Ganondorf here. What a great start, really. Might give you some idea as to how I was struggling in the past. Yeah, good for you. You get that fucking crap away from me. Damn it. Alright, let's try that again. It's not as easy as you might think, it's quite surprisingly difficult. I'm not even within targetable distance, like, fucking hell, just target the prick. Better get him. Alright, now get over there. I got him once. Got him once. Motherfucker. Get him. You have to be really persistent to get within targetable distance. That's one of the issues. I had to actually really aggressively turn towards him to reach him there. Oh, he punched me! He punched me off my horse! I swear he punched me. I saw a movement of an arm. So I'm assuming he punched me. What? That cowardly pirate everyone falls in love with? I don't know. You mean in Zelda? Oh god. Leave me alone. I'm not sure either. No! I can't. Every time I go and start riding, he's in this really awkward position in relation to me. Oh, for goodness sake. Oh, you mean Linebeck? Yeah, Linebeck. He's great. I swear you didn't even hit me there. I swear I just happened to be close to you when I fell off my... I'm being trampled by a horse. Link really is a sturdy kind of guy. Trampled by a horse? That's no problem. Look at this situation. Can you see how easy it is to just be dominated by this version of Ganondorf? I don't even know where he is. God, he's annoying. Hit him again. Come on. There you go. Get him. There you go. Not too bad at all. I got trampled a few times. My head was stomped into the fucking ground by a horse a few times. But it was okay in the end. I really liked Ciela from Phantom Hourglass. Ciela was the first... No. Technically, Tattle was the first fairy companion that was designed to actually be relatable, but Ciela from Phantom Hourglass was also good. Had an actual personality of her own. But yeah, Linebeck was great. Linebeck and Ciela as your companions in Phantom Hourglass made that game really good. The only real issue with Phantom Hourglass was that it was on the Nintendo DS. Dark Lord Ganondorf. I don't even remember how to fight you, to be honest. I love how he fucking... how he does that. Look at that. He's so good. I can't think of the word to describe what he's doing. He basically provokes you, that's it. Okay, what if I shield that attack that he does? Oh, I can chance him. Oh, I want to do that. I want to chance him. I remember how that works. Oh, that provocation. I love it. Give me another opportunity. I want that A prompt, that chance prompt, man. I don't know if I want to do my fishing rod business here. I'm having good fun. Oh, I see. You can't actually properly shield them. Oh, that might have been my opportunity. When he really draws up to... You can see he does a special animation for when you're given that A prompt opportunity. Ugh. Let's get that hard. There it is. Chance with A. I was in the middle of a fucking animation. Couldn't do it. Alright. Do it again, come on. The music obviously is just amazing. See how fucking relentless he is? There it is! Yes! What a final fucking fight. That's how you do it. This is it. Get him! And then you look at that retreat. And the fucking elbow charge. What I'm going to do is I will actually use my fairy tears. Yeah, you're going to provoke me, but you see, he doesn't get stuck in his animation when he provokes you like that. Oh, prick. He's too smart. Just think about, I mean, I'm playing, this game came out in 2006, guys. I'm playing it on its system, on the disc that released at the time. And it's a fucking good fight, even by 3D standards, in my opinion. If I'm ever being weird with my camera, it's because in the heat of the battle, I'm sort of reverting back to muscle memory, and muscle memory does not have an inverted fucking x-axis. So. Right, let's try and get that same situation from before. Oh, he does actually lower his... If you wait for just a little bit long enough, he will lower his guard enough to give you an opportunity to hit him. How good is that? God damn it. Come on. I guess the window of opportunity is a little bit too small there. Alright, let's make use of our fairy's tears. Powers is up for a limited time. I don't think it relates specifically to the amount of health that we have. Much... essentially in contradistinction to the way the Grandma's soup from Wind Waker worked. There you go. Oh, I love that retreat. Just the way he fucking does a backflip and slides away from you like that. It gives you that sensation that you've really one-upped him in that moment. Oh, come on, he's still got around me there. Bastard. No, you don't. It is very important. I mean, as much as I don't want to do it, the game does actually encourage you to repeatedly force him to guard your attacks. It actually lowers his ability to guard you. So, for example, notice how after having attacked him like that, he does allow me to get a successful round slash. Let's do it again, just for demonstration. See, that's how you want to approach it. Oh. There you go. There it is. It's just a little bit more for him to deal with in that moment. Bastard. I want to chance you. Do it, man. Yes! It's so good. Finish him! What a fight. What a fucking fight. Absolutely brilliant. He was intimidatingly difficult back then for me, but it's just good fun these days. Thanks, P-Bear. Do not think this ends here. The history of light and shadow will be written in blood. Yeah, your blood. And light shall prevail. Oh, this fucking scene. That was pretty good. That is Xant's best moment. Right there. I actually don't understand what influence Xant had in that moment. If any at all. That's one of the mysteries of this game. Did he influence the death of Ganondorf in that moment? I don't know. But it was very good. My estimate was 3.5 hours. We have killed Ganondorf, and it is 3 hours and 6 minutes since I went live, which means that I'm doing better than I expected, although I did not have much of an educated estimate. It just sort of felt like that was a sensible estimate to go for. That was factoring in all sorts of bizarre things. You know, me playing like shit, me needing some time to deal with beverages, all sorts of things were factored into that. But I'm glad to see that in one session, I've basically taken care of the rest of the game. Best character in the series is before us in this moment. You missed it, Tron. You missed all of it. Tough shit. Tough shit. What? Say something. That was not the tone of voice. That was not a read, okay? That was not me attempting to read it from her perspective. I was just sort of looking at it, okay? Anyway. The actual read would be, what? Say something. That's the read. Anyway. I remember being bitterly upset with the ending here. But it's, I suppose it was the sensible ending. This isn't the end, you know, it continues on. But I was... It's not that I was disappointed or felt that it could have been done better, I just wish that a continuation was there. A continuation from this point would have been a bit over-ambitious, because it's one of those things that would be hard to meaningfully continue. But the people behind this game, I'm not going to say Nintendo, the actual team that worked on this game were ready to do that. They were ready to deliver it. I don't know if any of them have actually put down on paper what the plan was, in terms of the story, in terms of how it was all going to be laid out as a video game, but they had those plans. They had pretty much enough to go on to begin production, which in terms of writing is most of what you need, which means that a plan did exist for a continuation of this game. It was vetoed by Nintendo. Well, not just vetoed, I mean, it's not like they would operate independent of Nintendo and then require permission. It's more like Nintendo would literally need to say, alright, you're making this, we need this at X time, make this. That's probably the relationship that Nintendo would have with these game designers and developers. Basically, there was no longer a need for that. It was all about the Wii Motion Plus. What was instead needed was Skyward Sword, a game that had been designed from the ground up to advertise, sell, and obviously make use of Wii Motion Plus. That did not end well. Not in my mind, and I would like to think not well in the mind of the community as a whole, collectively speaking. So, yeah, I think the legacy of 3D Zelda was damaged by the direction Nintendo took. But anyway. Midna, what? Say something. Link. Boner! Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Well, they were leading up to that, weren't they? The idea that Colin would be the one to take up the sword after Link, but I don't know. It's not even that I would like. I wouldn't really want to play as Colin, for example, but what I want is more of this Midna. I don't want it to literally just be a function of the story at the end of the actual game where we get to see Midna in her full Twilight form. I don't like that. No, look, the ugly baby didn't have a backstory, but the ugly baby did have character development. And quite frankly, no one needed to see that. Anyway, this is the point, P-Berry. Because it had no sequel, as far as we're concerned, they will never see each other again, and that's a sad thing. And I didn't like that. It's not a bittersweet ending, it's just a bitter ending for me. And it was at that time. I've become a little desensitized to it. You know, this was 15 years ago, but it was a bitter ending for me. And I don't know. It was a shame. She breaks the mirror, but I don't know. We can never know these things. Yeah, why did she break the mirror? To make it so... Is it some way of saying that there should be no connection? Our societies should not mingle? The game with Colin would be a journey of him gathering 100 pieces of the mirror? Great. And then what, Link is just some guy, some recluse, sitting in a fucking hut, traumatized by Midna's decision to break the mirror. Oh, and apparently she gave birth in this time. Did you notice that? She gave birth. I suppose she was heavily pregnant, but for me, it was like a matter of days, but I guess for her, maybe it was a month. Maybe it took me a month to go from being the village boy to saving the world, but for me, it felt like more like maybe less than a week even. If you look at game time, about 60 hours, if even. Not even 60 hours. Less. Closer to 30. Oh. Well, I guess this is farewell, huh? Light and shadow can't mix, as we all know. That's the point. She doesn't actually want the societies to mix, so she doesn't want there to be a connection between the two worlds. I don't know. It's been a while since I've really thought about this story, so I'll try to pay attention to what's being said. Never forget there's another world bound to this one. Shadow and light are two sides of the same coin. One cannot exist without the other. I know now the reason the goddesses left the Mirror of Twilight in this world. They left it because it was their design that we should meet. Yes, that is what I believe. Zelda, your words are kind and your heart is true. If all in Hyrule are like you, then maybe you'll do all right. There's a lot of ways to interpret her willingness to move on from her interactions with Link, whether it's a willful desensitization to her interactions with him so that she can better move on. It probably is that, but still, I mean, she's crying, obviously, but... Anyway. Obviously, we know what she was going to say. Anyway, see you later. Except not, because she broke the mirror, so why did she say see you later? I can't remember what the Japanese version of what she said was, but anyway. I'm assuming it was something like mata ne or something like that, as opposed to sayonara. If it was sayonara, then there was no expectation of them meeting again, or at least not for a very long time. But I don't think it was that. I would have checked that during the Japanese version, and I have no recollection of that, so... Pretty sure it was not that. There was some expectation of them meeting again. And I think that exploded into more than 100 pieces there, Tron. This is one of those endings that will forever bother me. Forever. We will never get the chance to really know what it should have been, really. Because I think what it should have been was... I mean, what purpose does... Let me put it in these terms, ladies and gentlemen. What should have happened, in my opinion, is Link should have gone with her. Because he has no purpose or use in that world anymore. He had already served his purpose, he had saved it from Ganondorf's bullshit. And he had established a deep connection with Midna, so go with her. Go over there. Live with her. If she must be with her people, then be there alongside her. This is why people write fanfics, you know. Great. Let's have an offshoot series called The Legend of Colin. It's not like it's called The Legend of Link, you know. I don't mean the relationship fanfics, I mean the whole idea that we could have an alternate ending where Link instead goes to the Twilight Realm instead of staying here in this realm. I don't like the choice that they made here with the ending, because it's too... It's both an open ending, yet also a very definitive end to what's happening here. And I don't like that. I would have preferred something a little happier, something that had a warmer recognition of the interactions between Link and Midna. I don't know what he's sticking around for, let me put it that way. But whatever. That's right. No, if I do let myself tap into the emotions that I felt when I first saw this, incidentally, using the same GameCube and the same disc that I have loaded in now, I'd get pretty upset, but not like crying or anything, but definitely frustrated, empty, and a little bit confused, but still, it's annoying. I suppose I never will feel quite the same about this as I did back then. You see, that's a bigger slap in the face. That moment right there, he's not even returning to his old life. Showing Link riding off into the distance with Epona, what that shows is that he is a person without a home now. He doesn't feel that he can return to life in Ordon. He's been through too much. So what does he do? He rides off into the distance because he's in search of his next adventure, the next thing that he needs to do. He should have gone off with Midna. He has no need to remain in this world. Yeah, except that he didn't, Tron. He's riding off into the distance while Ilya stands there going, "Aren't you gonna bang me? Oh wait, I'm obsessed with the horse. Oh no, the horse is leaving. I lost the man and the horse. Well, I guess I have to, fuck Marlowe." Anyway. Sorry, that's the sort of fanfic that we don't need. But, honestly, I'm assuming this is... I can't skip. Okay, this is one of those situations. This is very old school. This is the sort of thing that we don't need in a GameCube game where we reach the end and then we can't skip it. We can't return to the main screen while saving or anything like that. So I think I saved the game before attempting the final boss, which means that I saved the game at the best possible time. Never mind. I'm wrong. So it automatically goes to the title screen, unlike previous versions. 31 hours. So in that time, the woman went from being pregnant to giving birth, so she must have been very close to giving birth, that is the point. Anyway, of course the date is wrong because my GameCube can no longer save to the correct date. The last time I accessed this file, which by the way is my original file, was in 2013. I do regret that immensely. I first opened that file in, sometime in 2006. So, anyway. This is my point, Peaberry. That's not a 2013 file. At all. I would have loaded this back in 2013, many years after I had last touched it. I sort of fucked around a little bit and saved the file, not having realized what I did. And what I had done, I'm pretty sure I overwrote a last save that was 2008, which was obviously 2 years after I had made it. So that's the original file right there. And I will forever hate myself for overwriting the 2008 number to 2013. That was a fucking stupid idea, and I hate it. May as well launch it. What was I doing? What was I doing? I was here, apparently. Either backtracking or doing something else, but this is the file right here. Oh, that is so me. That is so me. To have a different color for all of them. That just shows... Oh my god, that is so me. That's endgame right there. Purely for aesthetic purposes, I had a different color for each bottle. That's about right. That's so nice to see again. I used to do that, yeah, for sure. Again, I'm telling you, this save is not... While the number may be 2013, I'm telling you, it was not 2013 when I left this save. I'm pretty sure it was 2008. So, yeah, it's nice to see again. Drink the purple jelly. Well, I was right about there being purple potions. I can drink it because, I'm not going to be saving it. What? What the fuck? It doesn't do anything. It gave me like what, 1 heart? That's terrible. I'd rather drink lantern oil. That's awful. Jeez, I didn't realize it was... Apparently it can either heal one heart, fully heal, or bring you to a quarter. That's awful. Didn't realize it was that bad. Anyway, that's probably going to be it for... You can tell I didn't care about Souls back then. I was fucking around in all sorts of different ways in this game. That's a long story. Anyway, I do thank you all for watching. This is going to be the last time that I will record Twilight Princess for a long time. This is the 4th recording series that I've done for Twilight Princess. That is too much for one channel, especially considering that my first recording began in 2015. It's only been 7 years, and quite frankly, that is too many times to be playing the same game within that period. So, what I will do is bid you all farewell for the moment. I will return to this game. When I do, it will likely be the Nintendo Switch version, and that will be in many years to come. I'm going to say 5. I don't want to touch this game again until 5 years have passed. I don't know what life's going to be like in 5 years, but I'll be playing Twilight Princess. That's one of the things that won't change. So, I thank you all for watching for the moment, and I bid you all farewell for now. Goodbye, and enjoy the rest of your evening, and the rest of the time that you will spend between now and when I next record Twilight Princess.